Now at 5, a teenager is charged in a fatal Joplin crash. Plus, a bank shooting in Kentucky claims multiple victims. And
it's not too late to file your taxes. I'm Michael George with tips from an accountant who's been filing taxes for nearly 50 years.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities file a manslaughter charge against a driver in a fatal weekend crash in Joplin. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. The crash occurred Saturday evening on the 1200 block of Range Line. Police say 26-year-old Charles Richardson Jr. of Joplin was part of a group of motorcycle riders going north. They say a car driven by a 17-year-old male left a convenience store and pulled into Richardson's path. Richardson has died at the hospital. Investigators say the 17-year-old was under the influence of marijuana. He's been arrested for involuntary manslaughter and driving while intoxicated. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office hopes to add a new drone to their fleet of drones. The Sheriff's Office applied for a grant through Hero Funds USA. If granted, the Sheriff's Office will have to come up with half of the cost of the $25,000 drone. This new drone would have thermal imaging. Among other uses, it could help with surveillance in standoff situations.
So utilizing these drones would be, we'd be able to send those in to try to make contact with the suspect, to try to develop intel where the suspect is inside this building, so that we can use that intel to help with our mission planning and to keep everybody safe.
Hero Fund USA is a private organization that helps first responders with equipment and gear. We're going to have much more on this story for you tonight at 6. Local veterans got some extra assistance today signing up for disability benefits. Joplin's Disabled American Veterans Chapter number 52 hosted a mobile assistance unit today in Airport Drive. It was a chance for veterans to get assistance or get answers to questions regarding disability benefits. Officials say the information is not just for veterans, it can also be helpful for their families.
We also have help our veterans' dependents. If a veteran dies and he is on disability, they're actually authorized to receive a portion of his death benefits.
The DAV mobile unit will be there again tomorrow. Nice weather to start the work week. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, so far it's turned out to be a pretty good Monday for us today, but we do have some thunderstorms that have been popping up mainly on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side over the past several hours. A lot of these have been strong. We've had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, but most of these are just going to stay moderate to strong storms as we go through the evening hours. You can see one cluster, Fort Scott, just to the west of Nevada, kind of stretches south, Girard over toward Pittsburgh. Pretty good cell right on top of Yates Center, so in Woodson County. And then we have some additional ones just to the southwest of Montgomery County. Most of these are going to stay west of the metro, but we are going to have a few random severe thunderstorm warnings as we go through the evening hours. Temperatures great. Most of us sitting into the mid 70s. We're setting up for a pretty nice work week. We'll talk about it here in a bit.
See you soon. Police in Louisville, Kentucky say the quick response of officers helped save lives at a workplace shooting this morning. They identified a 23-year-old gunman who killed 4 people at a bank and injured 9 others, including 2 police officers, one who was struck in the head and underwent brain surgery. Christian Benavides reports.
Police descended on an Old National Bank branch in downtown Louisville to find a gunman still firing shots.
The suspect has been identified as Connor Sturgeon, white male, 23 years of age, who was employed at Old National Bank. His weapon of choice was a rifle.
Officers exchanged gunfire with the suspect, who died at the scene. Police named 4 victims who were killed inside.
Tommy Elliott, 63 years of age. Jim Tutt, 64 years of age. Josh Barrett, 40 years of age. And Juliana Farmer, 57.
Today, I'm hurt.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear fought back tears as he addressed the latest mass shooting.
We lost 4 children of God today. one of whom was one of my closest friends.
Caleb Goodlet's wife works inside the building.
I got a call from my wife panicking that she was locked in the vault, that there was an active shooter in the building.
She took shelter inside along with other terrified workers.
They had a phone inside the vault. She was able to reach me. I haven't heard about her coworkers yet or anything, but I have talked to her and seen her. She's fine.
Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg said his city has set up a family assistance center for anyone affected by Monday's event.
Whether you were physically hurt or not, I know that you're hurting too. We are here for you.
Authorities are asking the public for any information related to this latest shooting as they begin their investigation. Cristian Benavides, CBS News.
Louisville's interim police chief said she had just sworn in the officer who was shot in the head, swore him in on March 31st. The department also responded to a second downtown shooting today where one person was killed and another injured. Still ahead, some popular snacks are put under the microscope.
Changing how food is made, I'm Danya Backus with concerns about the chemicals used in many popular snacks.
And how long COVID might impact sleep quality. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, a lot of people who are dealing with long COVID say they're having trouble sleeping. A new study shows about 40% of patients with long COVID report moderate to severe sleep issues. More than 2/3 of them reported moderate to severe fatigue, while almost 22% said they were dealing with the severe fatigue. The report was published in the Journal of Internal Medicine. Black patients with long COVID were significantly more likely to report having issues sleeping. A new study says increasing your physical activity can lower mortality risks from poor sleep. University researchers from China used data from more than 92,000 health-monitored adults. Those who exercise a lot were not negatively affected by low sleep. Short sleepers doing little exercise had a 69% higher risk of cardiovascular disease. Long sleepers who rarely exercised had a 21% higher cancer risk. Some popular candies and snacks are being put under the microscope. Lawmakers in California are concerned about chemicals added to foods, including red dye 3, that could be dangerous for your health. Food additives have been banned in Europe for years. Danya Backus explains.
Hendrix, do you want strawberries?
Ashley and Jermaine Rawlings are careful about what they feed their 2 young children. They read food labels closely.
I'm vetoing every product that comes in here just because I'm always curious, like, what's in this product.
If you can't pronounce the name, you probably shouldn't be eating it.
California could become the first state in the nation to ban the sale, manufacture, or distribution of foods containing 5 chemicals linked to cancer risk, reproductive harm, and behavioral issues in children.
These are the worst of the worst.
Assemblymember Jesse Gabriel is a sponsor of AB 418, which would prohibit the use of red dye number 3, titanium dioxide used in many candies, potassium bromate used in some breads, bromated vegetable oil, and propylparaben.
When I learned that 99% of these chemicals are not being independently reviewed by the FDA, that was my aha moment.
Dana Hunez is a senior clinical dietitian at UCLA and says the number of additives in our food supply is concerning.
The more we consume of a certain product, the more likely it is that we're going to have some of these negative effects in our body.
Thousands of chemicals are added to processed foods to provide freshness, taste, and color. Red dye number 3 has already been banned in cosmetics in the U.S.
The food industry is pushing back. Nearly a dozen associations responded, saying the federal government has a comprehensive food safety process, and the 5 chemicals have been thoroughly reviewed and continue to be deemed safe.
Did you eat the first one?
For the Rawlings family,
it's crazy that I have to look at every single product to even see what's going into my child's body, what's going into my body.
They hope products with less additives adds up to better health. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
California lawmakers hope their legislation, if passed, will spark changes nationally. Researchers in China say consuming more than 6 teaspoons of sugar per day can increase your risk of developing 45 different health problems. They include heart disease, depression, diabetes, and death. The study focuses on free sugars, which are added to foods or drinks. The researchers analyzed 73 studies from more than 8,600 articles, which focused on health outcomes in children and adults. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, tips you should know before you file your income taxes.
Plus, we have some thunderstorms roaming around out there. We're going to take a look at that coming up. Overall, it's turned out to be a pretty good Monday for us. We've had a nice little stretch of weather through the weekend into today, but we are getting some pop-up thunderstorms out there, and that's why we have the cumulus clouds, which you can see on our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Tower cam, of course, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. No current warnings, but we've had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings over the past few hours just due to these storms kind of bubbling up. Most of them are on the Kansas and the Oklahoma side, and that's where most of them are going to stay as we go through the evening hours. I doubt we get any into the metro, but at least the areas that have the worst drought are getting some showers and thunderstorms. Let's go ahead, zoom in. We'll take a little bit of a tour. You can see from Pleasanton down 69 to Fort Scott. Little thunderstorm all the way down just on the northwest side of Pittsburgh. These extend north of Nevada, right along I-49, up to Rich Hill and also Butler. Pretty good thunderstorm as well. Yates Center out through Greenwood County. And then we have a few more which have been popping up once you get a little bit farther south. Here's Montgomery County. So right around Caney down toward Bartlesville, some additional showers and thunderstorms. The biggest ones, or the bigger threat for severe weather, is you can see the severe thunderstorm watch, so really kind of sinking south just north of Oklahoma City. But we've had 3 or 4 little severe thunderstorm warnings with just quarter-inch hail across the region, or quarter-size hail, 1-inch size hail. 64 in Nevada, 74 Anderson, 74 in Miami. Chanute sitting at 73. You can see some of those thunderstorms looking northwest from 7th and Rangeline. Sitting at 74, south winds at about 5 to 10, humidities at 41%. Through the evening, slide back through the 70s, 60s, 50s. We get down upper 40s later on tonight. But this wave that's on us right now is going to kind of sink and hang out across the southern plains over the next couple days and wait for this storm system to kick out. And then that will give us more moisture once again later on in the work week. All right, so let's go through time. Here's 8:30, still some scattered thunderstorms. Kansas into Oklahoma, and then they're gone once we lose the heating of the day. We drop back right around 50 during the morning. For noon tomorrow, already back into the upper 60s to lower 70s. Just about a perfect day. 73 in Lamar, 75 Miami, Chanute, up to 77 for us tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we also drop back again near 50 for an overnight low. And then Wednesday, we do it again. Plenty of sunshine. High temps into the mid 70s for high. So here's your day planner for you on Tuesday. 70 by 1, 73 by 3, 73 by 5 p.m. And we get a really nice work week, but we do get some thunderstorms back in here. So let's go all the way to Friday. A few showers popping up in the morning, but once we get into Friday evening, thunderstorms start getting going. Some of those guys could be strong, possibly severe, so we'll have to watch that as we go through the work week. All right, scattered thunderstorms out there this evening, then gone. 75s next 2 days, 76 Thursday, 80 on Friday with those thunderstorms. Should be out by Saturday morning, but I mean, really nice temperatures for us this week.
Yes, things are going to be growing fast if they haven't been already.
They are, definitely.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, issues before world monetary leaders. Topping today's Consumer Watch today, the International Monetary Fund and World Bank spring meetings kick off, bringing together finance ministers, central banks, and other leaders from all around the globe. Topics on the agenda include climate change, the war in Ukraine, and the looming effects of the COVID pandemic. The IMF will release its newest World Economic Outlook later this week. Several headlines out of Tesla over the weekend. Yesterday, the company announced it'll build a new factory in Shanghai to produce 10,000 megapack energy batteries per year. While back in the U.S., a class action lawsuit has been filed in California by Tesla owners who claim the company's employees internally shared private and embarrassing videos from their vehicles' cameras without their consent. And that comes as federal regulators say they're probing a North Carolina crash after a teenager was hit and injured when a Tesla that might have been operating under partially automated driving systems failed to stop for a school bus last month. Tax day is April 18th this year, just over a week away, and a lot of Americans are going to get smaller refunds this year. Michael George spoke with an expert who's been handling tax returns for nearly half a century.
Dottie Pfister has been helping people with their taxes since the early 70s. Some of her clients now are the children and grandchildren of previous customers.
It's like old friends coming in, really, because they've seen me for so many years. Like, they come in, they're ready to hug me, kiss me. Dottie, we've been waiting to hear from you.
This H&R Block Pro has seen it all, and she's warning her clients to set their expectations lower this year. The IRS reports average refunds are 11% less compared to last year, primarily due to the end of pandemic-era tax credits.
The big change, of course, is the lowering of the child tax credit, and of course there's no more gift like we got last year, which was like a big $1,400 to a lot of people.
Charitable donations also have to be itemized this year. If you're filing at the last minute, Dottie says remember to bring all of your important documents into your tax professional. The IRS provides free online assistance to people with a gross income of under $73,000 a year. And ask to get your refund through direct deposit.
Mailboxes, unfortunately, are not as safe as they used to be. So, I mean, if somebody asks what I suggest, I always suggest direct deposit.
Dottie handled 600 returns last year, and she's not slowing down.
Any thoughts of ever retiring?
Nope. I'm here for the duration. I kid my clients. I tell them I'm going to put a table at the gates of heaven. Nobody's going to get in unless they've done their taxes.
Here on Earth, it'll be a busy week as she helps people try to beat the April 18th deadline. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
You find these tax tips at KOAMnewsnow.com. There are also new tax credits available for solar energy products and electric vehicles. Ask your tax professional to see if you qualify. The Super Mario Brothers movie had a mega opening, grossing more than $200 million at the box office domestically and an estimated $377 million worldwide. That shatters the previous worldwide record for an animated film opening held by Frozen 2. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, reaction to a federal judge's ruling concerning access to an abortion pill. Then on KOAM News at 6, a woman is injured after driving her car into a Joplin building this afternoon. Plus, we're going to check out the potential uses for a new drone for the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. And we'll explain the public safety tax proposal going to a public vote in Pittsburgh tomorrow. Stay with us, CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. A Northeast Oklahoma Wildlife Park has added a new resident, this sloth named Flash. Now, Creation Safari Wildlife Park is offering a unique opportunity to get up close and personal with Flash. The sloth encounter in Wyandotte gives people the chance to learn more about the creature and how the park cares for its animals.
The sloth has to have a lot of care. His room has to be at around 80 to 85 degrees. It has to have very high humidity because where the sloths are, they have high humidity. And he has a special diet. He eats a lot of fruits and vegetables. That's really about all he eats.
The sloth encounters are $45 per person. They include about 20 minutes with Flash. A kangaroo and giant tortoise from Creation Safari Wildlife visited our studio for our morning news today. You can find that and watch it yourself, KOAMnewsnow.com. We had some critters in the studio today.
I guess so. Hey, we've had critters unwelcome in the studio before.
Snakes,
yeah.
Birds, various rodents. Mm-hmm. Yes, we have.
It happens.
Yes.
All right, for the evening, some pop-up thunderstorms on the Kansas and Oklahoma side. These are going to die down by sunset. Next few days, pretty good.
Thanks for joining us. CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.